Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got the LJ back in the shop. Camera guy's been bugging me. They designed a rear bumper for the TJ LJ years and years ago, never released it, and camera guy finally went through the CAD, found it, maybe tweaked it a little, but we're gonna get it on here today. You've probably seen it in some previous videos. Jason's LJ, the orange beautiful fully done up one, is running that bumper, so check this out. Alright, so if you guys have done any of our projects in the past that are DIY welding, this is a very, very mild version of it. A lot less welding than like the WJ front bumper, which you got to weld a ton on that, you got to grind a ton on that. This will be very minimal. So very tight fitting to the back cross member. We are going to integrate 1-inch D-rings in, so we will have 2 recovery points. I know at Dresser, Wisconsin, when we go for Memorial Weekend, they can be welded to a bumper, but the bumper has to be bolted to the frame. So I will pass tech with these and I won't have to run my receiver D-ring anymore. So we've got our sandwich brackets that are going to pinch the frame. This is going to get welded underneath. New hardware, we've got stainless bolts in here, which are going to be our face mounted hex heads, so no rust issues there. And I think our hard part's going to be getting old rusty off of there, so we're just going to dive in, and I think that's going to be our big time consumer, and let's see how bad it's going to be. There's a little bit of digger in Dresser. Look, more dirt. So the reason why we're taking the caps off is you can see the nuts that hold the two of the main bumper bolts on, but I can't get an impact or anything on there, and I don't care about these caps, so we're gonna cut them off, get them out of our way, so I got better access to get those off. And maybe they'll snap off, maybe they won't. Tacking fits such a bigger tire now. Ooh. Hey, look at all that weight in there.
Save yourself 80 pounds.
Probably. We fought some stuff, broke some stuff, but luckily we got to get this inside the frame rail. So once you get your cover off and you're down to the bones, we're going to cut a window in here. We're going to start with just connecting our dots here, opening up the window. We may have to take this side over a hair because we need this window flush with the inside of the frame rail. And then this will get tacked in, and then we're going to test fit. We got 1 hole per side frame rail to drill for the 3rd bolt hole. And then this is going to slot into the frame rail. And then we have another plate that's going to sandwich the outside. And then we're going to have another one that's going to come underneath that'll get welded in. So we're going to tack stuff up first on these, but let's cut our window. That's also going to give us access to the snapped off bolts that we have in each side. So hopefully be able to hammer them out of there pretty easy and see what we got to do. So the 4 little dimples I used as just straight line connected the dots to get our opening to see what we had to do once we got in there. We had to cut a little higher and slightly lower. And then there is a left and right for these brackets that hold the D-rings. So the cutout is going to go on the bottom, slot it in, and line up your holes. Make sure you got them there, and then we're going to have a 3rd hole we're going to have to drill. So we will have another outer plate that's going to line up here and here and show us where our 3rd hole is going to land. So we'll use these inners as a template with our outer bracket to get our 3rd hole, and we'll get that drilled. But I'm going to get these brackets all tacked up on the bench so that we can start trying to test fit the whole bumper here in a minute. So we got our D-ring tacked into our inner frame rail bracket, and where are we at here? So this is going to go in like so. Sorry, like Yep, this way, passenger side. So the dip is going to be on the bottom. And then the rear or front of the Jeep upper bolt is what we have to drill out. So no weld nut there yet. Once we get it drilled out, then we'll slide this out, tack that in. So we are about ready to test fit, make sure everything's gonna go where we want it to. We'll drill our holes, and we can bolt it on. Maybe. So just a little bit ago, we tacked on the D-ring to the inner frame mount. So we have our inner frame mount and D-ring in there, just tacked. And then we have our outer bracket on. With these snug, I had these 2 bolts in just to make sure everything was kind of staying together. And now we should have our spot for our pilot hole for our inner and outer frame bracket. So I'll do a center punch there. Same on the other side. I'll pull it back off, drill my hole, eyeball it, make sure everything's gonna go good. And then we can throw the skin on really quick to test fit. Like I said earlier, there is a left and a right for the brackets. So this is our alignment pin for the D-ring into the outer skin. So may take a little bit of tapping. You know, if you tacked it and nothing was, or it wasn't perfectly true, or like mine, this is slightly bent, you may have to get you a wacky stick and make it fit. So we got our alignment pin in there. It doesn't go flush to the outside, so when you weld this in, get some good penetration. This side doesn't look terrible, but it looks like I'm gonna be running a drill bit through this side to make sure I've got enough to cover all the way through. And then we do have another piece we gotta put under here to cap this bottom to protect that frame rail. And we can get that tacked up here real quick. So this is our bottom frame cap bracket. So there's a left and a right. Fat rectangle side going to the outside. We've got 1 alignment tab there, 1 little guy there. Big tab, little tab. So we're just gonna cap over, line them up. You got a little bit of room here to, you know, I'm gonna make sure I'm flush on this back side here, so when you get a side view of it, it's not sticking out like crazy. And then you want to be able to have a decent gap here for welding it in, whether you're going to leave your weld exposed or grind it down, that's up to you. I have not decided what I'm going to do just yet, but I'm going to throw a bolt in. I've got one in on that side I can show you, but put a bolt in to snug it, hold it where we want it, and then I'm going to tack quite a few spots here and probably tack this upper bend here also, and then we can take it off and we can burn all this in. So I just snugged it up. This one's ready for tack. A lot's happened since our last shot. You probably got a little bit of me welding there, but we did a little bit of fill, a little bit of grinding. When it comes to where you've welded, if you like the way they look and you want to paint over them, that's up to you. As long as you get a good weld in there, structurally, you're good. Grind it down, whatever. I did not do the outside portion of the D-ring just yet. Welder ran out of gas and I didn't want to chance it running out completely in the middle of that weld, so I will finish that up at home. But we did have to drill these 2 holes on both sides. I don't know if we caught that earlier, but very easy. Use the cover as the template. If you have to, like on mine, I snapped one of the weld nuts inside the frame rail. We just made a weld nut. Pretty easy. Just weld a nut with a hole on a stick of metal that you can fish right through here. Bolt it in no problem. We got our outside bracket we've talked about a few times. This is the one that we had to drill on both sides. So the forward of the Jeep upper bolt hole has to get drilled through. So these 2 we put weld nuts on right away to get a nice tight fit to make a center mark. Once we had our center mark, we pulled them off, drilled our holes, and then we welded the inside bracket, the frame rail bracket weld nut. So we have 3 weld nuts on the inside, so no problem there. And then we got our bottom one here, our outers here. I don't know if camera guy got a picture, but if you jump back to the D-ring mounts that slot into the inner frame rail bracket, we had tacked it before. That is now fully welded all the way around. So you want really good solid welds there. And we're gonna also weld it on the outside face so that that is also solid. It all bolts together really tight. Make sure when you cut your pocket into your end of your frame rail that you are flush with the outside, because that's where the plates are gonna sit when you sandwich it. And if you got a little chunk of metal there, it's gonna kick the D-ring. And once you weld this on, it's gonna be one hell of a job to try and get that unbolted and out of the frame rail. So do some due diligence there. But I'm gonna get this cleaned up, get it, I don't know if I'm gonna get it powder coated or paint it, I don't know yet, but we will see this in a couple weeks at Trail Jam. And if you see this video after that, check out our Trail Jam videos. It's an Iron Rock event, lots of trails, good food, great raffle, all supports the Minnesota 4-wheel drive. So this was a quick one, but thanks for hanging out, guys, and it's good to see you again. Hopefully see you again in the future.